Good morning, state of Delaware.
We've been receiving thousands of emails requesting me do a story on colonial Delaware. So today, we have a special treat for all you Delaware lovers out there.
Live from 1638, Peter Minuit. Good morning, Mr. Peter Minuit. We're so pleased to have you on Good Morning Delaware.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
So, Mr. Minuit, it is our understanding that you, along with the New Sweden Company, founded the colony of Delaware.
Yes, that is correct.
Our question here is, who decided to come over to the wilds of Delaware, and how come?
Well, you see, the lovely people in Sweden decided to employ me to lead some settlers over to this Delaware place and help them get started and established in Delaware Bay. They named their first setup Christina, after their queen. Now, as for your question about why they came over, Delaware was all about profit. They came over to make a pretty penny through agriculture and trade.
Interesting. Now, when you first got there, were there any people around?
Actually, yes. There were the Susquehanna and the Lenni Lenape Indians.
And what happened to them once you and your settlers arrived?
Well, by the time we got here, most of the Indian population had died off. You see, before we colonized, those nice little fur traders introduced smallpox and engaged in a war which resulted in a high loss of life from the native side.
Oh well, that's all the time we have for today. We wish you the best as always. It's been great having you.
How sad.
Unfortunately, our dear friend Peter died in 1638, so he never got to see his colony grow into the thriving Delaware that we all know and love today.
Since our dear friend is now deceased, we have our expert on all things Delaware, Professor Winston, here to finish up the interview.
Hello and good day.
We are ecstatic to have you here today, Professor.
I'm delighted to be here.
So, Professor, please answer the question that's been on all of our minds. What was the colonial industry like in Delaware?
I'm glad you asked. Delaware had very fertile soil, which made agriculture a very profitable business. Indigo grain and rice were grown on a large scale. Logging was also profitable due to the large amount of forest in Delaware. Building ships and working with iron were a few of the very profitable industries found in the colony. Also, some extra fun tidbits for ya. Delaware used to be part of Pennsylvania, but became fed up with the upper counties and broke away. Up until the start of the American Revolution, Delaware was fought over by the states surrounding it.
Fascinating! Thank you so much for your time today, Professor.
It was nothing. Call me anytime, darlings.
Our next visitor today is Anthony. He was the first slave in Delaware. How are you today? Can I call you Tony?
Sure, I guess. I'm doing okay for a slave.
I have some questions for you. When were you brought to Delaware, and where from?
My home was in the West Indies, and I was captured and brought up here in 1639.
Was slavery common then?
No, it didn't really hit off until the Dutch took over, as that's when they started shipping a lot of Africans over here to work the land.
How long did it stay around for?
The number of slaves went down in the fall of 1664, but I died before I ever saw it increase again.
Well, thank you very much for your information. I know I learned something new.
No problem.
Our research shows that slavery increased in the early 18th century when the corn and tobacco crop exploded into a major cash crop in Delaware.
10 years before the Revolution, 20 to 25% of the population were enslaved, higher than any North colony, but lower than any colony in the South.
Wow.
That's all we have time for today. I'm Autumn.
And I'm Rachel. This has been Good Morning Delaware.
Shalom.
Peace out.
Homies!
Look at me now. Oh, I'm getting paper. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Yeah. Fresh to the